This is the stuff. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Oh, look at the leaves. Look at the ground. Look at the terrain. Look at the lighting. It's so nice. Hello, I'm CammyG, and this is the new graphics overhaul to the, I want to say Stonewood maps, but we are actually in a 140 mission here. This is a Twine mission. It is just this biome. The classic, what do you think of Stonewood when you think Stonewood biome? The grassy areas. Those are the ones that have been overhauled, and yeah, I think it looks gorgeous. It's still got that classic look that Fortnite has. It might not have the classic Save the World look, but it does still look beautiful. But we have more intricate details on the leaves and the ground and, the side of the terrain here. This is, it's got nice detail to it instead of just being like a block shade on the side. Let's go ahead and get some loot here. So yeah, we're also going to test out the new power level system because we are power level 137, which I think actually might be an upgrade to what we were before, or it's about the same. It didn't change too much for me on the main account, but we're going to do this mission solo, and it should, in theory, be easier than it was before because we don't get a bonus from teammates anymore. We are now just stronger on our own, and when teammates join, they're obviously going to help because they're shooting enemies and they can build traps and they can build structures and they can, eliminate enemies, but we don't actually get a buff to our own health and shield and damage and stuff from teammates. So this should be a very easy mission. I mean, we are, of course, the right power level for this mission, so you wouldn't expect it to be too difficult anyway. But let's go ahead and find the atlas and see how we go with it. We've apparently found it, actually, already. I'm also trying to look for some... I mean, I noticed this is a new flower. Oh, well, flower bush, which is really nice. Oh, there's loads of chests around here. But I'm looking for, the sort of pink flowers that we've seen from the new area. And, oh, I've just fallen off. I can't actually see any. But what I'm going to do is kill this guy, apparently. I think he died from affliction damage then. Even the wood on these trees is just so much more refined. It's nice. I know a lot of people are upset about the fact that the graphics aren't, the classic Save the World look. I guess you still have it in the other areas, although I imagine they are overhauling those eventually. My guess on why they're doing it for this one first is because this is the next Venture season, and then after that I think we have Blasted Badlands, so potentially they will then overhaul the Badlands area, or maybe they do the Flannel Falls area, so that's the Plankton, so maybe they're just going to work their way up through the biomes from, Stonewood, Plankton, Canny, and then through to Twine. Who knows? But I can imagine this will follow with more to come, because, why would they just do one area and then stop? I can't imagine they would do that, especially if they're changing, the power level system in the game, a core part of the game. I can't see them just completely overhauling that and then being like, you know what, actually, we'll just leave it there and not change anything else about the game. They are clearly cooking, and I think there's too many chefs in the kitchen at the moment, but, we'll see how things go. So this should be super easy. I mean, like I say, I think it would be fairly easy anyway, but we should be able to handle this very easy solo now. And I did notice, and someone else actually has noticed on our videos, that 160s actually have 160 level enemies now. It doesn't have 250, which is what they should be, or around about 250. It might not be exactly 250. Wow, these enemies are a bit stronger than maybe we thought. Should probably get some traps in here. I do want to make it so that I can just walk away. That guy's going to hit me. I don't want him to, so I'm just going to do that. We'll put some of this down. You know how it is. I'm going to do it there actually as well. And yeah, we'll just sort of do that. Take care of this side. I do want to go around the map and see if we can find any of the sort of flora. And see if we can't spot anything new. Really nice looking. Alright, so now that while that's finishing up, I think we should be good to leave He says, I'll just leave a turret out just to help a little bit. I want to see if I can't find some difference in the actual biome, you know, the actual floor, because we've seen flowers, and I think it might be because we're in a forest map we don't have it, but this is a new bush as well. Very nice. You can search them as well. There's a bit of colour. I think that is a bonus, because the one thing I do miss about Battle Royale is the colours. There's got some nice leaves here as well around the tree. I wonder if that's just because there's a tree there, or if it's because it's the edge of the map. But it just adds a bit more depth, which I think Save the World was missing, and I was hoping... Yeah, there's more here. I was hoping we would get something like this eventually, because Battle Royale is just gorgeous. It looks like we're going to fail, because I didn't set it up properly. That's fine. It probably a smasher spawned. I don't really care about succeeding the mission. I just really wanted to show the difference in the map. So we'll probably go into another one as well, just to show... See if we can find some nice flowery bits. But I think the leaves, just on their own, add enough, as well as a few bushes. As I said, I think my gut is telling me that if we went into a different area, like just suburbs, for example, we might see a little bit different. So let's go in there and see what it has. If you do like the video, by the way, please do subscribe and, you know, get future guides and news and stuff. Cheers. Wow, just look at that. The new flowers are just so nice. Yeah, we found some in Stonewood here. I've actually come to a Stonewood mission now, just to see in a suburbs if we can find a bit more flowers on the ground, because I know they do exist. It's just finding where they are. It must be a certain biome, I think, or a certain part of the map. I think the forest one has its own design that has more of the leaves, which I would assume would be in here somewhere as well. Oh, yeah, some up there by the edge of the map, so maybe it's just a rarer spawn. I would like to see more of it, personally. Oh, there's some nice little effects. Ooh, that's like shiny copper on the side of these, because we're, I guess, maybe closer to the caves. That's nice. That's really nice. I've never actually seen that before, not even in Battle Royale. I don't know if it's in there or not, but if it isn't, that means they've put effort into Save the World that they didn't into Battle Royale, which would kind of shock me, given how few people work on it. But yeah, there's some more over here. Look, it's really nice. Got a nice shiny effect on it. It's a shame you can't dig into it and get some copper out. Not that I need copper, but, you know, if they were to do that through the rest of the areas, you know, you'd see even more rare ores as you go up into Plankton. You know, you'd have silver, and then you'd have your malachite and so on, which is really nice. And I think the lighting has been improved a bit as well, because it just really looks like a nicer aura. It doesn't look exactly like Battle Royale's lighting, but it does look to have improved. Maybe it's just me just seeing what I want to see. I'm not sure. Right, so now we're in a grassland. So the first one was a forest when we did the Atlas mission, and then we looked in the suburbs, and the suburbs didn't seem to have anything. There's only one more after this, but I thought the grasslands might be a potential for it. But you can see the lighting. I think I've actually spotted something over there, some white flowers. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Oh, they're really nice. No, they're not even white, are they? They're yellow. It's just the sun's so bright, they look white. That rhymes, which means it's very, very true. That's really nice. Can we get like a... We need like a thumbnail-esque position here. There we go. Gorgeous. Now we just need the pink ones, because I think the pink would look really nice. I mean, I do like those, of course. And there's some more over here. I think they're going in the right direction. I still think they just need to add more. They, you know, it needs a bit more depth. I do appreciate with a game like Save the World with the building effect, they probably don't want to overcomplicate the terrain too much. But there's quite a lot dotted around. You can see some over there. You can see some there. See a patch over there. It's really, really nice. Right, so this last zone is actually also called Grasslands, but it's just got a different layout on the map. It has the pink flowers! We finally got there! Oh, look how beautiful they are. They're so lush. They're so colourful. This is... I don't know how people could not want stuff like this. It just... How does this not look better? Let me just get a little bird's eye view from up here. Oh, just look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Just imagine more of this around the map. It looks like it's not... Oh, we've got some of the yellow flowers as well. Maybe it's just completely random. Maybe I just got unlucky on the other ones. I don't know. I mean, this area here looks very plain. That's why I think they should have these patches more dotted about. But I think since Save the World is like procedural generated with sort of prefabs and stuff like that, I think it probably works in a way that you might just have a chance of not getting much of it. And then you go onto a map like this and you've just got all of them. And they're all over the place. But yeah, this stuff right here. This is the stuff. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake not sleeping because I'm thinking about this.
Just wait to see what they do to the snowy area. Oh, let's give us some snowmen, you know? But yeah, that's beautiful. Ow. Shall I get rid of that guy? They are still making it through. I think I'm just gonna add a few more traps here. Now I'm trying to remember what it actually... Oh god, that smash is just gonna wreck these walls. Yeah. Get that in. Actually, we'll do this. Yeah. But yeah, this, I think it does feel easier. It's kind of hard to compare because we can't really go back to the old ways. We could compare to footage, for sure. But we can't really go back and, you know, see how much damage we were doing in solo, how much damage. We can look back at the health, though. I think that's something we can definitely compare, which I do want to do. And see, you know, in a solo mission in 140, for example, how much health did we have? And now do we have more? Because I'd expect it to be more with the way they've described the new power level system. So I think we should have higher health, higher damage, higher everything. As if you had teammates in. I think you being solo in a mission is supposed to be the equivalent of having a full team. I think that's what the idea was. Or at least your stats. Obviously, it would be easier with a full team still in its current state because you'd have more people doing damage and all that stuff. I think we are able to actually recover this, by the way. I think it's just because we've had flingers. I didn't build any sort of anti-air mitigation in, so they spawned and were just flinging and they broke onto the back of the objective, actually. This one here, you can see I've built another. That's actually where they got in, so we didn't actually fail, crazily enough. But yeah, there you go. We've done a mission in the 140. We've shown how that's, I think, a little bit easier in solo. I didn't really have to build too much. And I wasn't a constructor, I was just playing as an Outlander. And it is pretty easy. But yeah, the graphics overhaul, I think, personally, is... Well, I think most people would probably agree it's the better part of the update. The power level stuff is not very good for a lot of people. And it's difficult to explain. And yeah, we've already gone over the negatives of that. But this side of it, I think, is amazing. And I really hope they continue to, you know, improve on this and add it to the other areas. I think... As I say, I don't think they would just stop at one area. That wouldn't really make sense to me. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the graphics? I know a lot of people said they weren't looking forward to it, but now that you've seen it, what do you think? Do you think it looks nicer? I mean, I definitely do. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. But thank you so much for watching, as usual. And yeah, I'll see you in a future video or something. Cheers.